Are you ready? Today, we have a very special guest. I am very excited. This is my first interview. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while now. I've always found myself just really enjoying other people's Pokemon content out there, whether or not it's on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or Etsy or whatever. The ideas people come up with, the inspiration that Pokemon seems to inspire in people, it's just it's fun to see from the side. And today I want to actually talk with somebody else that has been inspired by Pokemon like me, and I want to get their take on their hobby, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So today we have Pokey Paints Cards. She is awesome. I don't know if you've noticed her on TikTok. She has almost at 10,000 followers. So if you're not following her already, please, please, please go over to TikTok right now if you're hearing me talk about this and go follow her. It's absolutely insane that she hasn't reached 10,000 followers yet. I don't actually understand it. So we're gonna try and work on that. She also what she does on her TikTok page is she does awesome Pokemon art on Pokemon cards, but she also does commissions. So if you want to take a look at it, Pokey Paints Cards over on Etsy. Now, check these out. Is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? All right. So, without further ado, yeah, I agree. She's the best. Look at all the hype emojis. Absolutely. Let's go. All right. Now, without further ado, let me do this. Let me get her mic up and running. Hold on, hold on. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. We're all set. How are you doing?
I'm great. Oh
Great.
my gosh, thank you so much for that very sweet introduction. How are
Absolutely.
you?
I'm doing great. I know we saved the introductions when I first got you on here, and we were doing the sound check, and it was a little awkward because you were just kind of sitting there waiting for me to get everything going. But we're ready for the conversation now. Now, during the sound check, I asked you, what would you have for breakfast? And your response was watermelon. Now, is that true, or is that just the first thing that popped into your head?
Oh no, it's fully true. It's fully true. Watermelon is a solid choice. I
Okay.
always go for
I
it if I
absolutely,
can.
I absolutely respect it. I usually don't actually eat breakfast myself at all, but that's just because I get too busy. I grab myself coffee and then I just kind of sip coffee all day, and I know it's not healthy at all. But I,
It's great.
watermelon's a good choice. I should get some watermelon and switch over to that.
You really should. But
Yes,
I mean, hey, coffee's good too, especially
yes.
like I mean, I put like way too much sugar though in my coffee, so if I like sipped on it all day, that's not the best
See, I drink
for
it.
me.
I drink it black, just black. So people
Oh
look at me
my
weird, but
god.
yeah. So yeah, it's just cold brew in here, and it's just black. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot.
It takes a certain kind of person
It
to
does.
enjoy it though.
It does. It's an acquired taste for sure. It's taken years to get to this level of coffee drinking, but I've obtained it. I'm
Oh yeah.
level 50 in coffee drinking. But so you're talking. So you clearly eat breakfast. That's good. That's healthy. Do you have any other sort of morning routine that you like to stick to?
So usually I have to go to classes. So
Okay.
it's usually grab something quick, rush to campus. Because like I'm pursuing my teaching degree right
Okay.
now.
Very cool.
Yeah, and so I
Is teaching
usually have to
anything
rush.
specifically, or is it art, or
I wish it was art,
okay?
but
You
so
could.
I'm in like the stream to teach like primary junior students. So basically up until grade six,
Okay.
kindergarten to grade six. So ideally a bit of the older kids.
Okay.
But yeah, I will like I always like throw in art whenever I can though, whenever I am teaching kids.
Very
They
cool. Of
kind of like
course.
yeah, they kind of come to expect it. They're like, oh, we're gonna do something art. I'm like, it's gonna be fun, don't worry. And then
Yeah.
afterwards I'm like, I guess it wasn't that bad. It's like I told you.
Crafts are the best. How could you not? But yeah, so that's awesome. So you're in school. I thought you would be working to do art. I mean, you're so good at it. I mean, how could you not be teaching it? Where did that start? Did Pokemon come first, or did the art come first? Did like the painting come first?
Pokemon,
Okay.
1,000% came first.
Okay.
So I started playing Pokemon around when my brother did. So
Okay.
I have an older brother.
Mhm.
He started whenever he was about 8, so I was about 5, and we
Mhm.
were playing. He had Sapphire, and I had Leaf Green, and we
Love
would
it.
just play on our Game Boys together and stuff like that. But interestingly, we would draw Pokemon together, and I was always like, "Oh my gosh, yours is so much better than mine." So I set visual arts aside, and I was a lot more of like a performing arts kid in
Okay.
like high school and stuff like that. So for me to do painting was so not something I was good at
Really?
or that I did until I just picked up a brush 2 years ago. And after, needing something like a hobby for myself, I just started painting cards and worked up to it. And so that's how it is now, which is
2 years ago?
completely 2.5 years ago.
All right, I'm a little shocked to be honest with you. Okay. Because
I never painted
wow,
before that really, except for like props for stages and stuff like that. But
that's so awesome. The only thing I've ever painted is a wall. So I mean, I've never really painted like any sort of
hey,
artwork. I do sketch. I like to sketch a lot, but I'm so bad at it. I've got a sketchbook that I don't let anybody see. Uh,
oh my
and
gosh,
like and like I'm so
I
bad
get it.
at sketching. Yeah, I'm so bad at it. But like I just like I get concepts that like get stuck in my mind, and then I'm like I eventually got to get that out on paper. But then like by the end, like it doesn't look like anything that would have been in my mind to begin with. It doesn't look good at all. But like it's still I got
No,
it out of my head, so like that's good.
no, I get that. Like I have a like I cannot take what's in my brain and put
Mhm.
it onto like if it's just something completely original, like I can't do that. People that can, I like respect. I
Really?
bet your sketches are great though. Like don't sell yourself short.
We'll see. I've been doing it for maybe 2 years as well, and there's a big difference between what you're doing and what I'm doing. Let's just say that.
No, that's
So,
awesome though.
what was your first reaction to like Pokemon card art, and why do you think you had that reaction?
So I remember seeing like years ago on Facebook randomly.
Hmm.
I was just scrolling and I saw that there was a Jigglypuff card that was painted by an artist that goes by Lenumbra,
Okay.
and I was blown away. I was like, that is so cool. Like,
Okay.
I wish I could do that at some point. And I just kind of forgot about it.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I was constantly like working and stuff like that, so I didn't have time for any hobbies. But then I had like quit one of my jobs, and I was like, hey, I need to start doing something for
Hmm.
myself. And I came across that same Jigglypuff card
Ooh,
like years later, and I was like, you know what? I have a lot of cards myself. I'm
hmm,
like, why not just try this? And
it's so cool.
so I did, and I actually still have my first card to this day
Oh, let
with
me see
me.
it.
I will never get rid of it, but it was this Snorunt card that I did.
Oh, I love it. It's so cute. See,
It was cute. I mean, like the blends are not there, but I was so proud of it at the time, and I was just like, "Why not? This is fun. Let me
Mhm.
just do this." And like I just did not stop.
I think it's a great concept. Honestly, I think there are a lot of people who look at Pokemon cards and they just want to put it in one of these sleeves and they don't want to touch it, and they're afraid to get anything on it or scratch it, or they put it in a box in their closet and like that's it. And while
Yeah.
that's fine. I mean, if you're a collector, I'm a collector. I get it. I like to collect things, all that kind of stuff. But my favorite part, especially like the kid in me, when I was opening up the Pokemon packs, I didn't care if it was the chase card or not. It was the artwork on there that I really loved. It was I just like to go through it. I like to see the characters. I like to see what kind of setting they put them in. And then when I came across your channel and your Etsy page, I saw that you took not just like it wasn't just the Pokemon card where it's in the little box. You took the design and you made it the whole card. And I don't know. I loved that. I instantly saw that. I instantly loved it, and I just thought it was a really really cool concept. I'm broke as hell, but eventually I'm gonna have you make one for me. I promise. And and it's gonna be great. I'm gonna get some shelves back here, and it'll go up on the shelf, and it'll be great. But
Oh my god,
uh,
it'd be too cool to see it.
I really do think it's a really cool thing that you're doing. I think the artwork's really just beautiful, and And I don't think there are a lot of people out there doing the same thing. So I think it's a really cool niche that you found yourself in, and I think a lot of people should go follow you on your social medias, just so they can see the artwork. And
Oh,
and
thank
and when you
you.
and you go live too, don't you? I think I've dropped in and seen you go live as you're actually doing the commissions, which is a really cool process
Yeah.
to see because I don't know anything about painting, honestly. So it's really cool to see something go from no paint on it to being completely finished and just see the whole process. Um,
Yeah.
so
It's fun.
I had a question in here about that, but no, sorry, I've been talking too much. Go ahead and talk. Go.
No, you're fine. No, I just like whatever you're talking about, like, people like they have the cards and they
Hmm.
just throw them in a box. And like I mean, I've got my tins full too, right?
Yeah.
But I think the beauty kind of with like painting the cards and stuff like that is I've learned to appreciate like the commons, the uncommons, like
Yes.
the non-hollow rares, like all of those. Like, sure, you still got your chase cards and stuff, but I will be like stoked if I get the common that I really want. And I'm like,
Hmm.
yes, I've been wanting to paint that. Let's go. And then people are
Absolutely.
like, well, I've got 10 of those. I'm like, well, I didn't, and I'm
Yeah.
excited
And
about
that
it.
card is worth like a penny, maybe, but like that's not what matters. Like you're there for the experience to have fun with it and enjoy the actual card and the moment. And I think that's amazing because I think a lot of people are just they're hunting for the chase card, but then when they get the chase card, that's it. It's over. Like they
Yeah.
got their moment. They're gonna put that moment on the shelf, and then it's over. But you're taking that moment and you're expanding that moment, and you're making it last a lot longer. And then you're taking it and sharing it with other people as well. And I think that's amazing. I really do.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, thank you. It's fun.
so let's see what else we got here. So, what other areas of art are you interested in other than painting? So, I mean, you said you painting started like 2 years ago, but I mean, you said you did some performance art and stuff like that. What else?
Yeah, yeah. So I used to be a theater kid. That was fun. I like did it in high school. I used to like sing choir as well. Like that was like, and I still have that passion and stuff like that. It's just a lot harder, especially with COVID, to
Oh
be
yeah.
doing that. And
Hmm.
so I needed something definitely for myself. So I've just started up a couple weeks ago with digital art,
Ooh. Okay.
and I am obsessed, like
Okay.
absolutely obsessed with because I mean there's just an undo button. Like if I make a
Hmm.
mistake whenever I'm like drawing on pen and paper, like I'm done for.
Yep.
If I'm painting a card, which is, painting cards is extremely finicky. Like
Yep.
you have to be so careful. So with digital it's just like I could just go for it. And just like kind of like how you were saying before with your ideas in your head and you can
Hmm.
just get it out on like the
Hmm.
page. That's kind of what I can do now with like I use Procreate and stuff like
Okay.
that. And so it's been kind of like liberating in a sense
Okay.
because I can just take it anywhere and draw and
Hmm.
yeah, and just help out people with like logos
That's
and
awesome.
emote and stuff, which is another way that I can, express art. So it's been a lot of fun.
That's really cool. Would you say that that's probably one of your like best, most worthwhile investments that you've made recently? Would be in your digital art and all that? Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what I did for a year beforehand, because
Hmm.
I was super interested in it, but I didn't want to put, because it's a lot to invest into,
Yeah,
right? And
I looked
so,
at a tablet for just drawing and sketching and stuff like that, and it was like $1,200 or something absolutely insane. I was like, okay, I think I'm just gonna stick with paper for now.
yeah, exactly. No, I don't blame you
Yeah.
at all. Like, but what I did for a year was I had this like really old, like crappy tablet that
Hmm.
my parents had like as an extra, and I was like, hey, can I use that and just see if I enjoy it?
Hmm.
The software was free. It was terrible, but like I still was like drawing and stuff like that just to see if okay, is this something that I actually am going to pursue? Because sometimes I can get like personally discouraged and then
Hmm.
stop myself from doing stuff like that. Like,
Absolutely.
you don't see that product,
Hmm.
right? Um, but then I was like, you know what? At this point, I think like I'm invested in it enough. And I had one of my friends ask me for a logo when I
Okay.
still had the crappy laptop,
Yeah.
sorry, tablet, and I did it on there, and like they were happy with it, and so I was like, okay.
Hmm.
And like I started gaining some interest, people wanting me to do logos for them. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. And I'm so glad that I made that investment for
That's awesome.
myself.
That's amazing. Yeah. Have you thought about doing more with like the emojis? I know I suggested that on one of your videos. I saw because I don't know. There's something about your art style that I think would just translate to emojis so well. I don't like. I really think it would. Have you done any work on any of those yet?
Yeah, I actually
Okay.
did. So I did my first Twitch emo. I finished it on Sunday, I think. But it's
Ooh.
a Greninja, and he's like
Okay.
eating noodles.
Oh, I love it. That's so awesome. That's so great.
Yeah, and it was, and I really enjoyed doing stuff like that because, like you said, I think like my style is very just like it's bold, bright, kind of
Hmm.
cheery sort of
Yes.
look like that. I think it translates well to like an emo of
Hmm.
sorts, and so it was really cool to have it. And now it's an actual thing, which blows my mind
Yeah.
still.
It's so cool. And now other people can use it like and express themselves with it, which is really I don't know. I just think there's something really cool about that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So you said you played Pokemon with your brother. Now is he an artist as well? Do you have any other family members that are artists or
So we all have our own sort of like art
okay.
styles. My mom's very crafty. She will like hand make like little like dolls and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's really cute. She's made some Pokemon ones too
Really?
before. So we have this like Lugia that's in our rec room whenever I go home, and I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Should have her like
Um,
the mom collection on your Etsy shop. That'd
exactly.
be great.
But no, she's got that. My brother, he does a lot of like graphic design and stuff
Okay.
like that. So he actually, interestingly enough, he was doing logos for people who used to play like competitive Smash Bros and competitive Pokemon back in like
Okay.
2014 to like 2018.
Hmm.
That was his big thing, and in a sense, kind of inspired me to want to do digital. But I was like, no, I can't. Like, so I get that from him. And then my dad's like super musical, so that's where I get that from. I'm just kind of like a
A
mix of
very
all three
artistic
of
family.
them.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting. And see, there's no one in my family that really does any sort of art other than me. It took me a long time to kind of realize that I got this all this stuff in my head that I kind of need to get out through an artistic means, sort of thing. So I mean, I think that's very interesting that you grew up in a family that kind of encouraged you to be expressive in that way. Uh,
Yeah, oh my gosh, they were so supportive and stuff. And even of Pokemon too. Like, my parents would always be there whenever we're playing the games or opening our cards and stuff like that. My parents actually played Pokemon Coliseum,
that's
like
awesome.
after we did, and we would stay up like late watching them play. And they were like, "I just need to purify all the Pokemon." It was a family thing. But I want. Is your family like into Pokemon? Like, how did you get into
No,
Pokemon? I know this is an interview for me, but I'm
oh,
curious.
that's fine. Well, I'm a '90s kid, so I mean, so I started playing Pokemon Yellow, like the very first Pokemon game that came out. I remember. I mean, it's kind of sad. It was my great grandma's. We were traveling for her funeral, and it was like, and I remember my parents got me the Game Boy and the game for like traveling in the car to like occupy me because I was like 7 or something
Yeah.
like that, you know. So I just played.
Mhm.
I just remember playing the game like the entire time. Like it was probably like a whole weekend, but I played the game the entire weekend. I probably beat the entire game. I just had
Yeah.
so much fun, and then it just took off from there. From there, I had to play through every single other Pokemon game, and then once I got into adulthood, I was like, video games are for kids. Like I can't play this anymore. Like
Yeah.
I gotta like really work hard and work on my job and do all that kind of stuff. And eventually, I just kind of hit a wall with work where I was just like, I can't work anymore harder. I need to start having some fun in my life. Like I feel like I'm not. I feel like I've got like these creative passions that I'm just not taking advantage of like at all. Like I'm just too
Yeah.
tired to do it. I'm just pushing it aside. That's kids stuff kind of deal. And then all of a sudden, pandemic hit. I lost my job. I had to pick up doing door dashing, and I was just
Mhm.
like, I kind of hate my life right now, but I can play Pokemon Go while I DoorDash, and it's kind of fun. And like,
Yes.
I can work 12-hour days, but at least I'm still playing Pokemon. And then when that happened, I was like, well, I can make content from Pokemon. That's fun to do. And then once that started happening, I started kind of realizing that I was like, when I was making content, like I was getting that creativity out and I was having a lot of fun and I was starting to get inspired. I was waking up in the morning being like, hey, I want to get this done and this done and this done. And it just, I don't know, kind of helped me get out of a depressive period. And from there, I don't know, it's just been growing. I've been having fun. I've been making a lot of friends. in the community. I don't know. It's just been absolutely great, and I don't know. That's just where it started. That's my story.
Yeah, that's no, that's incredible though.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the pandemic especially like made all of us like slow down because I mean there's such an appreciation nowadays for like the grind, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
work, 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 work. But it's like you need to do stuff for yourself as well. And what you're doing is fantastic too. And
Well, thank
you're a
you.
great member of the community. So like keep it up.
I appreciate that. I really do. And yeah, I would like to grow this and just have it be a thing where I can have like conversations with other people in the community and just kind of see where their start was, where their inspiration comes from, where they plan to take it. Which brings me to, where do you plan to take? Where do you see like your whole like painting Pokemon cards on Etsy taking you? Did you see it getting you where you are already? I mean, it's been 2 years. I feel like your growth in 2 years is pretty remarkable, to be honest with you.
Thank you. I could not have ever have guessed that I would be doing any of this a couple of years ago. Like all.
Yeah.
So like the fact that I've had like the privilege to paint so many cards for people has just been like I still don't have the words for it. It blows me away. I definitely have been thinking about what I want to do moving forward and stuff like that. I definitely want to work more on creating more art for myself regarding
Yeah.
the painting cards, because commissions are super, like, I love them, but there's so many cards that I've wanted to paint and like sell as well. And so I think I really want to focus on that. And then also just really, really working hard on digital art. Like
Okay.
I've had the idea to possibly go into NFT, not with Pokemon, but like
Right.
just in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just doing like more logos and commissions and stuff like that, because that's something I'm going to be able to do regardless if I'm home or not.
Right.
Which is going to be like I'm going to be home a lot less in the next coming months, and so if I can just bring my iPad around, then that's something that's probably going to be more feasible. But yeah, I'll still be painting, I'll still be doing stuff, but just really trying to expand the art that I'm doing.
That's great. You said that commissions can be a little. Well, you didn't say it could be a little taxing, but I got the impression that you were saying commissions could be a little taxing. Uh, what would you say is, you don't have to like call them out, but what would you say is like, have you dealt with like an upset or demanding commissioner, and what was that experience like?
Yeah, no, honestly, most people have been incredibly cooperative, but there are the times where there's people who, I wouldn't say are like not cooperative, but it's just they have a very specific thing in mind,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know what that is at first until you're working on it, right?
Yeah.
And so, um, I remember painting this one card, and I had added in like a little Pokemon in with it. Basically, like I thought it was going to be a really cool scene. It was like a Charizard and a Charmander,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the Vivid Voltage Charizard. I actually
Okay.
have one. Yeah, and I put like a little Charmander peeking over a rock, being like watching it train with Leon. I thought
Okay.
it was a cool concept. But then as soon as I finished that, they said that they wanted this completely different idea, that they wanted it to be like Charizard on Mars with like lava and everything.
Someone was
And
scrolling on Instagram and saw something they liked and changed their idea. That's what happened.
maybe, but I'm like, okay, because the thing is, whenever you painted a card, and like also I've painted like out this little
Yeah.
Charmander, the layers of the card now are uneven, and
Yes.
so to make them even again is very difficult. And so whenever I'm painting over it, I can still see like the outline of Charmander. I'm like, no, this has to
And
go.
I imagine on a card, if the layers get too thick, it'll start to flake, or like it's not exactly a stable painting at that point, I would assume.
No,
Yeah.
it gets a little skewed, and the thing that's tough too is that like because you still have to build up with like very thin layers when you're painting.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be so careful of the amount of water that you're using too, or else then yeah, everything
Yeah.
starts to flake off, and it's not like I can just take off that layer of the
Right.
paint, because then so yeah, it was a bit tough, but we ended up figuring it out, which is really good.
What
But
would
yeah,
you say,
I
what
was
would you say you learned from that experience, though?
to if I have an outlandish idea,
Mhm.
just to double check with a commissioner first that
Mhm.
that's an idea that they would be down for. And so, I mean, which I try to do beforehand first. But sometimes people don't genuinely know what they would like, or they want to see it first, and I completely understand and respect that. So
Absolutely.
sometimes it just is what it is, and you
Yeah.
gotta bite the bullet and do it.
Some people can't take words and then picture it, and some people can't picture it and put it into words. I mean, it's just, yeah, I
Exactly.
totally understand. So, what advice would you give to a smart, driven young artist who wants to start commissions? And what advice would you say they ignore?
Ooh, that's good. Okay, so do you mean just like any art form?
Any art form.
I
Just if
would
they're trying to
say,
start commissions.
yeah, okay. So what I would say is definitely at first, like if you're just trying to pick up a new art form in general,
Hmm.
do a lot of art without the goal of it being perfect, because
Okay.
you want to try new things. You want to find your style. You want to just build that love for making art,
Hmm.
because otherwise you're going to get so burnt out whenever you go to do commissions if you don't have a love for art. And so just, make a lot of art, enjoy it. And then whenever you feel like you're ready, that you've got a style, maybe even after you've done some research to see how other people are commissioning, how other people do the artwork, then you can put yourself out there. How I started it is I just did it through word of mouth. So I had friends at first that commissioned me, and then I went on Instagram, started posting my stuff, and I had an Etsy shop. So
Okay.
that's what started with me. I would definitely say TikTok is a better avenue. You can get
Okay.
your reach out more,
Hmm.
and more, especially nowadays, more people looking at your content. And yeah, just create for yourself first and then for others second, and never lose sight of that, because then that's the way that you'll be able to continue, and people will notice that and probably want to commission you more.
Awesome. So, learn to love the process before learning to love the outcome.
Absolutely, because if you're doing it just for like money, or like if you're doing it because, oh, okay, this is just something like that's good to get into because I see
Hmm.
other people doing it, you're gonna burn out. It's going to happen. And I mean, even if you love it, you're going to burn out too. But definitely just make sure that you put yourself, like you don't sell yourself short.
Okay.
Do it for that enjoyment first. And yeah, just make sure that you are, like, setting proper pricing and boundaries, and that it doesn't become something that you dislike.
Okay. I like it. That's really great advice. That actually brings me to two other questions. One, you said that you could end up burned out, which to me feels overwhelmed or unfocused. So, when you feel overwhelmed and unfocused, or you've lost your focus temporarily, what is something that you do to try and get it back? And then the other one that kind of split off would have been, you said then they can decide how they want to price their commissions. I would like to know how you decide on how you price yours. But
Yeah, absolutely. So for the first question, being like how I kind of bring myself back, is I take a step back. So I will just not paint cards for a bit. And I mean, sometimes I have commissions that I have to do, so you kind of have to bite the bullet. In those cases, I paint something for myself first. So I will put the cards aside, and I think we have a roommate who loves painting too. And so
okay.
we'll have like a paint night. We'll get some canvases out, we'll paint something that's like not Pokemon related at all.
Hmm.
And again, just paint for the enjoyment of it.
See, that sounds
And
awesome.
yeah, and so then you come to realize, okay, I've made something now for myself. I enjoy the process. Now I can go in and focus on a commission. And I genuinely am more interested, and I have a better product whenever I am passionate about it,
Right.
right? So
Hmm.
I never want to force myself to do it.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah. And then, the second question. What was the
Yeah.
second
So
question?
when you decide to price your commissions, how do you figure that out? Because that's like, as far as artwork goes, like I feel like you could price it whatever you want. Because I mean, it's artwork. I mean, that's who else is going to be able to make that other than you? But
Yeah.
I
It's
understand it. Finding a price people are willing to pay, and also makes you feel appreciated for your work as well, I think is important, because I think a lot of people might go out there and price their stuff too low because they want to get a bunch of sales right off the bat, but then they end up feeling like it wasn't quite worth it. Or
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
you're so right when it comes to that.
Yep.
So, like for me, whenever I first started, and I knew I'd have to do this, I did like they were relatively inexpensive. So for me, like my first commissions and for a while, it was like $25 card,
Hmm.
which like is fine. You know, like it's hard for some people to because you know you have that product and you're like, okay, it's such a small card, like it shouldn't take long, or
Right.
it's just for one card, and so I understand that. But then I started raising my prices as I started getting not only more skilled at it, but I was realizing that I was putting multiple hours into each card, and I still
Yes.
do. And I'm not getting paid anywhere like close to, if you compare it to a regular
Right.
job,
Right.
anywhere close to minimum wage.
Hmm.
And so that's a hard pill to swallow. And so even in raising my prices, you almost feel, I mean, at least I did, I almost feel a bit guilty because I'm like, oh my goodness, like
It
this
feels
is
weird
maybe so much
valuing
work.
yourself in your own work. It feels weird to value yourself and everything, but
It
it's
does.
important. It's important. And
It
if yeah,
does.
yeah, but if you value yourself too low, then people expect that, hey, this person thinks their time is only worth this much. So if you raise those
Absolutely.
prices, that can change.
Mhm.
You value yourself more,
Absolutely.
they value you more.
Absolutely. And I've had like a lot of people, and like through TikTok too, they've told me, raise your prices, raise your prices. It's like you deserve it. And I'm kind of like, I do? What? And then I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, I do.
Absolutely.
I still need to reflect on that too. And I'm probably going to be making some adjustments soon, regarding that. But yeah, no, it's an
So you
important thing to think about is the right person will pay the right price for the artwork that you
right.
do. Not everyone's going to be able to afford it, hence why I'm trying to start like
Absolutely.
doing prints and stuff like that. But you need to understand that don't sell yourself short.
Yeah. Prints is a great idea, actually. Just for people who just kind of they don't want the commission or the artwork or whatever. They just want they saw something they liked and they want to pay a little bit and get that. I think that's a perfect idea to do
Yeah,
prints.
so I have some like little artist
Hmm.
cards, stuff like that still, that um like art, especially like prints and stuff. I want to do more of that too, because I don't want it to be like some accessible thing, right?
Of
Like
course.
I just want to share my art. It's fun.
Also, if you raise your prices and then you post it on TikTok, you get the people who complain about it being too much, but that actually helps with traffic and it makes other people want it because it all ends up being a net positive for you. I promise. If you post it on there,
That's the point of it.
it is. It ends up being a net positive. You might see negative comments, but it all ends up working out better. So
Yeah.
let's see.
GPA friends price triple the price?
Yep.
Absolutely not. Never friends
You
pay
heard it here,
triple.
folks. Go get them now before the prices go up. All right, let's see.
Oh my god, no. I feel so bad. If anything, I'd give like a friend's discount. If anything.
No, your friend should value you more than random people. All
My friends are always so good for being that way anyway. They're like, no, I'm paying regular price. I'm like, okay, fine.
right. So we're coming up on an hour here almost. I do want to be respectful of your time. So I'm going to ask you just one more question, and then
Yeah.
we'll leave it there if that's all right with you. So, random question. If you could put up a giant billboard with a metaphorically getting your message out to millions, if not billions of people, what would it say?
Oh my
Take your
gosh.
time.
Wow. Ah, geez. Because then it's like, okay, does this in regards to just
It could be anything.
artwork or like life?
Could be anything. It could be topical. It could be not. It could be funny. It could be anything. Doesn't matter.
Oh, geez. Don't say funny, because then the comedy, the pun person that I am is going to come out. But no, in general, I guess it would be, it's really cheesy,
It's fine.
but
Cheesy's good.
um, I would say just like um, something along the lines of like do what you love and love what you do, which, like I said, it's super cheesy and you hear people say it all the time, but I find oftentimes that we don't in the world and stuff like that, and we have so many different barriers, like economic, just like life responsibilities and stuff like that, where I find a lot of people are not doing what they genuinely love to do, or they have something that they previously loved, but all these barriers have made them not enjoy it. But
My story was
honestly,
a perfect example of that.
yeah, exactly. And like the thing is that we need to just like don't need to always work all the time. Like just enjoy what you're doing now. Enjoy time now. Don't wait until you're like retired to start enjoying life. Just do what you love to do and just continue loving it.
So do what you love to do and continue loving it, but really seriously think about it. Do that. I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I love it. Thank you so much for the phone call. I really had a great conversation. It was so much fun. I think everybody really needs to go. She's almost at 10,000 followers on TikTok. So please go follow her, Pokey Paints Cards, over on TikTok, and then go get yourself a commission on her Etsy page. But give her time because she needs to go work on her own stuff as well. So, yes. All right.
Thank
no
you.
Problem. Thank you.
As a university student, I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. What's up, chat? That was a great conversation. What'd you guys think? I thought that was really great. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I know I did. Let's go. PokeGPA, thank you so much for all of the chats, all of the emojis, the follow. I really appreciate it. We had a lot of fun for that conversation. Pokey Paints Card says, thank you for having me. It was a true joy. It was a true joy for me as well. I really appreciate you being on. If anybody has any other recommendations for anybody else that you would like to see on the show that's in the Pokemon community universe, please let me know. Please let them know to contact me. I'm available on Discord. I'm also available on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, all the places. But now that we've gotten all that out of the way, how about we play some games? Let's play some Pokemon TCG, shall we?